All right, I chose Mexico for my country because I really want to go there. I think it'd be pretty cool to go there and learn about their culture and food in person. I already know about their food a little bit from America, but nothing like going to the actual place. So the location, if you don't know, Mexico is between the U.S. and Guatemala and Belize. The northern point of Mexico borders New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas, the states of United States, and then also California. To the west of it, to the west of Mexico is the Pacific, and the east of Mexico is the Gulf of Mexico, America, whatever. And then the southern point has is connected to Guatemala and Belize. Um, it's pretty much it about the location. And then traditional preparation techniques. I'm not really sure how to say this, but I'll give it a shot. I think it's nixtamalization. Nixtamalization. We'll say that. It's like making corn and lime water for tortillas and tamales and a lot of other stuff, but I could just keep going on and on about listening. And then they also do a lot of slow cooking. It's like pot roast, simmering stews, and braising meats. The difference between braising and simmering is braising. Um, you cover up the pot. So you put like a meat inside of some liquid and you cover up the pot to let it like simmer and well braise by covering it. Simmering, you don't cover it. So you bring it to like a slight to simmer and then you let the steam off without covering it. And then pot roast is similar to like your crock pots. You know, come home from school and mom's got the crock pot up from the morning because it takes hours and hours to cook all the way. And then they also used flat griddles and mortar and pestle. Photo in this slide is a mortar and pestle to mix spices up. So they'll get a bunch of peppers, natural seasonings, and mix it all together to make their own seasoning. And the flat griddles, use for flat griddles, just a basic griddle that's flat. So the meal schedule for a typical Mexican diet is they have a breakfast. I'm going to try to say all the Spanish words, but you know, you can't correct me if I'm wrong. So breakfast or desayuno is a typical like breakfast compared to ours from 7 to 10 a.m. usually. Eggs, chorizo, coffee, pretty similar to an American breakfast. Besides all like the waffles and pancakes and all that. But the difference is they have a main meal. I'm pretty sure this word just means food, but um, this is comida, maybe. This is typically 1 to 3 p.m. It's their largest meal, and so it'll be kind of like their dinner. Or yeah, it'll be kind of like this would be compared to our dinner. Let's say that. And then this is more or less like the main meal. So I just named off two staples like enchiladas or tacos. And then they still have a dinner technically. Um, this is Cena. I'm pretty sure you know John Cena. That's what I'm getting from. Whatever. So this is their dinner. It's usually from 6 to 9 p.m. This would be like a typical like an American time to eat their largest meal, maybe towards like the 6 7 range. But this is like a smaller meal, like tacos or leftovers, like small street tacos is what I'm saying. And then they also have optional snacks throughout the day. I looked up what snack meant in Spanish, and I'm pretty sure this is pronounced bocadillo. Bocadillo. I kind of like saying that, but it's a small snack eaten at any point. This is pretty similar to Americans, but like fruit, quesadillas, and then what I have pictured next to me is donuts. It looks very similar to a donut because it is a donut, but it's like a deep fried donut. I mean, donuts are fried, so but I don't. It has like a glaze and a powdered sugar on it. That's why it looks like that. So that's like the difference. They put powdered sugar on a glazed donut. Some religious implications, which I did not know, and I don't know if you guys know, but they're very Roman Catholic. So the Catholic holidays influence the meals. So Lent, very Catholic holiday. So that's during Lent they can't eat meat on Fridays, so they have a lot of fish, and then they also have a religious day, which is Dia de los Muertos or Day of the Dead, and that if you it's like a celebration of dead loved ones or relatives. If you've seen like Coco, the Disney movie. That's a movie based around Day of the Dead. But their meals during that time is usually pan de muerto or like a sweetbread, tres leches cake, which is a moist cake, or flan, which is pictured on this slide. It's like a caramely jello type of thing. I've had it before. I wouldn't get it from like Walmart or nothing like that, but uh, they got it at like like certain restaurants. It's pretty good. It's like caramel on top of like some vanilla pudding ish. I really can't explain it all that well. And then they also have traditional foods during that day, just like how Thanksgiving has, turkey and mac and cheese, hopefully some beans. People eat that almost like every other day. So just traditional foods are also served on that day. But some food staples, which I've already mentioned, some tortillas, corn tortillas, though, not flour, burritos, tacos, chorizo. Chorizo is a type of meat. It's like a sausage, kind of like a spicy sausage. Tamales. I put etc. because I can go on and all day about Mexican food. But some drinks. I'm not sure if I should have put them, but every time I kept looking up, they all these websites, different sites, different articles have said like how Mexican people drink lots and lots of alcohol. So I figured I have to put it as a staple since it's like saying going to Wisconsin and saying they don't eat cheese, or they don't drink a lot of beer. But the alcoholic drinks are tequila, which is a liquor, Modelo, and Corona Extra, which is beer. During maybe Day of the Dead or some other a weekend. And then we got non-alcoholic drinks, which is horchata. It's like a milky drink, kind of. It's not milk, but it's like a spice, like cinnamon milk, kind of. It's really good. I would recommend trying that. And then I don't really know how to pronounce this one. Teuno, maybe. I'm not sure. That's like a corn-based drink. I'm not sure how this would taste personally, um, but they said it was very popular. And then agua fresca, which is a fruit infused water. I'm pretty sure they have those in America too. I think it's just like that Fresca brand. I've never personally tried it, but let me know. And then the healthy aspects of a typical Mexican diet. So the high use of fresh and natural ingredients, since they're very corn-based and veggie-based meals, and centered around corn and like veggies, and lean meats. That's a lot of whole foods, so that's good. Um, and very plant forward, like I have mentioned. And then also the use of fresh and natural ingredients. So, like the spices, they use a lot of chilies, peppers, like just natural spices. Like I obviously mentioned, the traditional techniques are mortar and pestle. But some unhealthy aspects is the increase of processed foods. This is largely due to like the Americanization of things, but this is mostly affecting their like snacks. So maybe like some Takis, uh, like a lot of chips coming into play. Really, instead of like fruits and vegetables as a snack, maybe like donuts was a big factor in that. But Mexico does have a high soda consumption. So they do drink a lot of sugary beverages, one of the highest in the world, actually. And then they also do have a lot of fried foods. Like pictured right here is a churro. It's one of their desserts. Obviously, it's just a fried bread with some cinnamon sugar on it. They're pretty good. But yeah, a lot of fried foods. Well, like using oil to make their taco shells harder. That also is fried. And then the fast food, that's pretty similar to US. They have pretty much any, besides like In and Out, Whataburger, like those, but any national fast food chain in America is in Mexico, but their portions are just smaller. And then most of the national fast food is street food. So tacos, tortas, tamales, street tacos, small. Tortas is like a sandwich. So yeah, it's like a sandwich. So that's it. Thank you for listening.